I feel like I need to be like superhero over here on the ending of it. Somebody else has not your that, but your countdown on a YouTube video, and every time I hear it, I'm like, they stole that from Lynna. But hey, Shishi, you look so beautiful. You're glowing.
Hey, it's the ring light. It's the ring light. Yay.
It looks good. You literally look like you're glowing, and I know it has to be what 9 o'clock there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me turn my comments on. Well, we have Yolanda.
So I'm sorry.
Oh, no. You're good. Let's see. I'm trying to say hello to everybody. Yolanda, Willow, Shania, Jen. Hello.
Hi.
Hope everybody's doing well. So, ladies, what is the topic today?
Petitions and candles.
Yes, intention, candles, and petitions. Now, this is what you guys voted for. So if you want a different topic or whatever, if you're not liking the topics we covered lately, then go vote. There's a poll on the group. Vote. If something that you want to see is not there, be sure and add it and vote on it.
Yeah. You can't talk about it if we don't have it on there. So I would say if there's any topic, and we got to be clear, none of us are a master of any of these topics. I mean, we literally, there's some things that each of us may bring to the table, but there's a lot of things that I'm learning along with you guys with the comments and everything too. So, I mean, please be interactive. If there's something that you have to share, we are 100% in agreement. This is a discussion. This is not us just talking at you. This is all of us talking together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
So
but the fun part about it is that, like we always say, you could be doing this for years and not even touch an eighth of all the knowledge out there. So this is fun. Like, it allows us to do research. It allows us to expand our knowledge as well. And that's what this is about, expanding knowledge.
Absolutely.
What do they say? Jack of all trades, master of none.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You never stop learning. I don't care how old you are, you never stop learning. And I always tell my kids that you got to be open-minded, because there's a lot of things that life is going to teach you, and people are going to bring little jewels into your life. But this particular topic, I think all of us have used it, know something about it, have tried it. And a lot of you too, if you do any type of candle work, even if you are just burning a decoration candle in your house, you're doing it with intention. There's a reason why you're lighting the candle. When you put a candle on a birthday cake, you're doing it with intention. There's a reason why you're putting it there. So a lot of people that go, oh, I don't do candle work, I don't do spell work. You do candle work. When you light this candle to make your house smell good, the intention is that you want your house to smell good.
And get rid of the bad smell. So you
get rid of the bad smell. So you're doing candle work already.
Getting rid of the bad juju, bringing good juju in.
Yeah.
It just so happens to smell like peppermint.
Or whatever. I love cinnamon smells. Money smells to me. Every time I burn cinnamon, apple cinnamon or something like that, I always think, okay, money coming in, money in my door, money in my door. But like I said, everybody that lights a candle, you're lighting it with some form of intention. Now, the petition part of it can be varied.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There's so many different ways to do petitions. I've got a little video from Madame Pamita. Some of you may remember we had her on last year, and I love Madame Pamita. But she made a video about petitions, and I can play that video. But what I was saying was, well, I'll play the video, and then we'll go over what she did, and we'll add to it. You want to do that?
Well, let's Shishi. Shishi was going to say something first, and then let's start the video.
Go,
I think we should do the video in the middle, because like it's intention candles. So we're talking about intention candles. We can talk about the colors. What is it that you're using as well, and why you need those certain things, and then we can go into the sigil, not the sigils, the petitions, which you can use sigils on as well, to explain how is that cohesive with the candles.
Okay, we can do it that way. Yeah. A lot of people, and we're practitioners. No practitioner is going to do everything the same way that the other one does it. I mean, you have some that are going to get sigils and stuff out of the book. I know Shishi does her own spells and things like that. I particularly just go off the cuff. It's like whatever I'm needing to say, then I say it. But she is right. There are certain colors that correspond to certain things.
And to the hours, you know,
the days
of the week.
Like Friday is love. Thursday, what is Thursday? Justice work, I think?
Thursday is money.
Well, what's the day for justice?
The day of Mars. Would that be Tuesday?
Well, Tuesday's good for contracts and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, day of Mars.
So for me, like I like the moon cycles when working with intention candles. The days can sometimes I would like to stick with days, but I'm also someone where I'm like, okay, you got to put your will in it. So if you need it, if it's a Tuesday and you need money, you're gonna light that money candle regardless if it's a Tuesday or if it's a Thursday, whatever it is.
But then you can use blue or green, depending on what color your denomination is, and then you could still use the hour of Jupiter, even if it's not on the day of Jupiter.
And then there's white, which replaces any color should you not have a
specific
color that you needed. Green for money, yellow, for happiness and building up confidence.
Orange for success.
Mm-hmm.
Blue for healing, and what is it? Purple for spiritual work.
And power. You can use purple to bring in power as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we have, and I have some candles that I have around. Now, this is a domination. Domination tends to be, you can do this for, domination could be white, it could be purple, it could be orange. Mm-hmm. So I always tell people, like Shishi was saying, when you're in doubt, because here we got a money candle and it's to win the lottery or to bring some type of luck in, but it's green. But Shishi's right. If you don't have any of these colors, white is always the universal. To be honest, I think a lot of witches and a lot of practitioners sometimes make it a little bit more complicated. Now, if you love going to the Botanica and you love like your saint candles, your raw love candles and stuff in, some people need to see that on the candle. They need the label because that helps them focus. But if you're a practitioner, you literally could just get a white candle. And it doesn't even have to be glass encased. It could be a stick candle. And you can do some hella magic with it.
Candles.
And yeah, I was going to say that too. If you don't have time, light a birthday candle. You can use tea lights. You can write on the tea lights with the nail and put your intention. You can add the oil, a couple herbs, load it up. We were talking about that a while ago, how you load a candle up.
Yeah. And if you have pillar candles, you can literally carve sigils. Mm-hmm. And also, any type of protection symbol. This is a money candle. Normally what I'll do is take a nail and just draw a big dollar sign and then put my name on it.
You could put the symbol for Fehu, which is a rune, on there for money. I mean,
so many different ways. There's so many different ways that you can use candle magic. Sofa Serena was even saying glitters. Now, here's the thing. You have so many people that go back and forth about to put glitter, to not put glitter. Here's the thing, and I tell people this all the time. Your practice is your practice. It's personal to you. I remember there was a witch that was like, "Oh, you don't get dollar store candles. You got to go spend $30 for this candle." Here's the thing. The ancestors used to put ball of wax, used wax, whatever the master would throw out in the yard. They would form that wax and they would make a candle, and it had dirt in it. It had leaves in it. And what they did while they were forming it, they would pray their petition. You can, if you're a worker, you can work with a piece of dirt in your yard. So don't ever let somebody think that you have to go high dollar. That is a preference when you practice. Go ahead, Shishi.
But then also, I mean, I think we all have done that, like a live or a conversation on witchcraft on a budget. Not everybody has that. And I think it's rude to tell people that they're not practicing correctly just because they don't want to pay $30 for a candle. In reality, this has, for many people, like when Gwyneth Paltrow charges $50 for her bundle of sage on her metaphysical website.
Girl, I'm growing sage in my garden. That's absolutely free.
Exactly. But she charges a lot of money for her freaking bundle of sage or whatever it is. They were talking about it. But either way, the point comes down to, it's become trendy. Everybody's like, ooh, we want to be spiritual, and you can burn these candles and you can do these things. And if you burn paraffin, that means you're not really caring about Mother Earth. And you have to use beeswax because that connects with nature. And there's all these rules that everyone's put on it that in reality never really existed.
No, because hoodoo is made up of things that you have. They used what they had.
Absolutely.
If you're on a budget, like I was saying, with the tea lights, you can buy a bag of 100 tea lights for like $5.
Yeah. And if
And you
that's
have
what you have,
100 candles.
yeah, that's what you have. And I think, like, if you really think about it, everybody's like, oh, you have to get colors. But in reality, when candles were originally made, they were made in clear.
Yeah, like yellowish.
There was no color.
Yeah. It was
exactly.
Like, it was an awkward, and when it was a color, it was an awkward ass color. So the fact is, the color, reference is fairly new if you're looking at how old, to how old witchcraft and the occult is.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that are going new agey, but it literally is, do what feels right to you. I'm never one of these people that feels like you shame people for the way that they want to practice. I saw this big thing about glitters, to glitter or not glitter in your candle. Here's the thing. Glitter is a reflective surface. It sends back. Now, if you are using it for a money candle, a lot of people go, oh, it's sparkly. But for some people, you say, oh, it literally blocks you because you're sending a reflection back of the money going out. There's so much that I've read so much craziness on here about it. I think whatever the practitioner intention is, whatever your manifestation is what gives it the power. You can sit up there and put dirt, you can put leaves, you can put a cat shit in a candle if you're trying to do something negative to a person. Yeah. If your intention is to fuck somebody up, you can put glass, you can put red crushed pepper.
Barbed wire.
Yes, there's some candles that don't have to be pretty, you guys. I mean, so when you go on this thing where everybody's like, oh, it has to be beautiful, it has to be sparkly, and I'm a bling girl over here. I'm a Libra. I like to sparkle everything I use. But some candles, yeah, so for Serena, you can put cat shit. You can use cat shit to fuck somebody up.
Like pee on it and then let it dry?
Yeah, urine. I use urine, especially if you have real dark urine. If you've been drinking a lot of Dr. Peppers or Coke and your urine is fucked up, you can use that shit to fuck somebody up. But that's like a practitioner.
Go ahead, sorry.
No. Go ahead, babe.
But I was like going to echo off, like, with you're saying candles don't have to be pretty. Like, when you're really trying to fuck somebody up, your candles are not pretty. If you're trying to jack up somebody who cheated on you, you're putting nails in the penis candle.
Barbed wire.
Yeah, rolling it in glass.
Barbed wire.
Rolling it in jacked up shit. Having had cat piss or whatever on it. And then you're letting that bad boy, it's a stinky ass candle, depending on how mad you are.
Burn it outside, y'all. If you're doing some negative dark work with it, burn it outside because it will. It could get funky. Maybe we should talk about too, because we're talking about candles and petition. Maybe we should go back to protecting, warding, and whether you're doing good work or bad work. A lot of times I protect my work. I have a bunch of grape and berry vines that grow in my backyard. Before I burn any candle, I go ask my vines if it's okay, if I can have some of them. And if they agree to it, I snip me off some. And I make a little circle, casting my circle. Some people do it with salt. Some people do it with vines. Some people do it with other tea light candles. But when you're doing work with a candle, you should protect your work because some of you may have opposition. So I think there's a lot of things that have to go in before you even start working with the colors, with the days and things like that. You have to know how to protect your work.
Oh, yeah.
I think foundation to me. What do y'all think about it?
Yeah, you have to protect it. You have to do your research to make sure that you have, if you're going to use colors and hours and days, you need to research, make sure you have all your facts right, because there's a science to it. There really is. There's like a chemical makeup of days, colors, hours, minutes, the wording, how you write it, which way you turn it, when you write it, because there's Widdershins and there's docile, and there are Jessel, not docile, clockwise and not clockwise.
And counterclockwise, yeah.
But
It
I mean,
depends
so
on what you're
there's
doing
really a science to it.
and how you want to do it. And if you're working with a spirit or an entity, there's a lot that goes into it.
Also,
Now,
too,
for
I was just saying is because you said what goes the spirits, how you close it out. You need to research and find out how you close it out, or do you dismiss those spirits? Do you keep them around? Do you feed them afterwards? What do you do with the work? Do you bury it at a crossroads? Do you bury it in your backyard? Do you put it in running water? There's a lot.
Okay, Shishi was gonna say something. I think you keep cutting her off because she freezes.
Okay, I'm
So
sorry.
she's
am
like
I freezing?
starts.
I'm sorry if I'm freezing.
No, it's okay. I think that's what's throwing it off, though, is that it's like you start saying something and then you freeze, and then we talk over you. So we probably need to give her. She's on a little bit of a delay, I think. So we probably need to give you a little time to complete your sentence, and then. So go ahead, Shishi, because I noticed that we're doing it. We're kind
No,
of cutting you
it could
off.
be me. Like sometimes I just stop because I think I'm interrupting you guys too. So it could be just me.
No, well, it's internet too. So go
Okay.
ahead. But you were going to say something. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I was going to say there are rules to it, but also depending on how you practice, you can create also your own rules. So not every practitioner goes by those set standard of rules. So you have to decide what is your practice. And then you can also mix it. Like for me, I'm eclectic, so I'll mix it, depending on what it is. If I'm going to be working with something, or if I absolutely want to use all the empowerment of everything that I can take on, then yeah, I'm going to be a little bit more strict with my rules and how I apply it, like the day or the time, or how long do I need to burn it. I think what a lot of people get confused about though is they think, okay, we're going to do a little candle, so then the energy comes in faster. If we're needing money, then we're going to use a little candle because it comes in faster. And I understand that's the concept for many people, but that's not always true. Because in reality, no matter the size of the candle, even if you had a larger, like if you have a large green candle or a white candle in your house and you need money, and you're like, oh my God, it's going to take forever to burn. So that means it's going to take forever for my spell to complete and for me to get the money. That's not true. The minute you light that candle, the minute you put that spell out there and that intention out, it has already started working. Period.
Absolutely.
So, so don't be hasty with your work. Like, make sure it's something that resonates with you. Don't try to practice the same as everybody else, because then it's not your practice.
I agree.
And that's what's really important.
Sofa Serena says, I have a question with petitions. I got a 7-wick reversible candle. Can you put the names of the people you think did it specifically? Okay, so here's the thing. When you're doing reversal candles, every name that you have that you think is an enemy, you got 14 other people that actually are your enemy. So when I do reversals, I just put enemies, period. Every motherfucker that got something against me, you gonna have all this shit bounce back on you. If I know your name or I don't know your name. Now, if you do have somebody's name, and I get a lot of this, because you need to divine on this. There were times where people were like, oh, this person is working against you. And then I pulled my cards and that person had no problem with me. The diviner saw it wrong. So I would have been reversing something on a person that literally had no problem with me. So when you're dealing with reversals, I would say, especially if you're working people that you think are an enemy or an opposition, put enemies, plural. And what it is that intention will connect to whoever it is that actually is doing you dirty. If the person isn't an enemy, it won't affect them.
Yeah,
But
like Jen is saying, known and unknown.
yeah, known and unknown, because people sit up there and they say, oh, I got 3 people on social media that are giving me grief. No, you might have 25 people that are giving you grief. There's a lot of people that are not your friends. They're watching you because they're jealous or they're envious. And a lot of people sit up there and hee hee ha ha. I do it with people that they can't fucking stand me. And I be hearting and loving they shit all over the place, but I know they cannot stand me. But that is my way of connecting and looking. I want to see what the fuck you up to too. You looking at me, I'm looking at you. Now that's just me. But when you deal with stuff like that, enemies, plural, put all of them.
I think the big thing too, you know, speaking about it, is you need to, whenever you're doing any kind of spell work, and especially when you're trying to send something to someone, you are correct. You need to divine. But then sometimes you need to check yourself, because sometimes people are taking people on as enemies that are not enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So always be wise when you're doing your spell work, because here's the deal: it may hit that person, and then when they divine, especially if they're a practitioner, they find out you did something to them and then do anything to you, then you have issues for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual warfare. You get involved in a fight that you don't really need to be in.
Yeah. You should, when you have a strong emotional something going on, say like you're really hurt or whatever, because most of the time my people act out, they do things rashly. Wait, say I'm gonna fuck that bitch up for doing that to me. Okay, wait 24 hours, and if you feel the same way, then go ahead and do the work. But because maybe she didn't do it, or maybe you find out later that you completely misunderstood what was going on, or whatever the case may be. But when you're mad or you have a very strong emotional something going on, don't, if you want this guy, oh my God, I love him, I gotta do this thing to bind him to me, blah blah blah, wait 24 hours. Do you still feel that way? Because he probably fucking ghosted you, and now you got him binded to you. So wait 24 hours, especially after a strong emotion, I would say.
I would also say too, because I had a client that wanted to bind somebody, and she asked me to do the work, and she wanted him to be obsessed with her. She wanted him to think about her 24/7, to call her, to, I don't want him to be able to sleep. And I was like, do you really want somebody that attached to you? Because that could be dangerous to do work, because you're literally creating a stalker. And she was like, this is what I want. And so I divined on it, and I saw that if I didn't do the work, she was going to do the work, so get the work done somewhere else. So I said, okay, let's go ahead and do it. But I said, I am putting the disclosure out there. You could be creating a problem with someone that you don't have a problem with. So here's how spirit does it, you guys. I gave her the work. She lit the candle up. The candle burned out. She lit the candle again. The candle burned out. She did it 4 or 5 more times, and she called me and she said, the candle will not stay lit. And I said, you know why? The spirits are rejecting the work, because they know that you're about to fuck yourself up, and they're not. Your ancestors are like, nah, we're not going to create this problem. There's going to be certain times when you do a petition and you do the work, and spirit, the universe, God, goddess, whatever you work with, will not accept it. And that's it. It doesn't matter how many candles you buy, how many times you try to light the candle. If spirit does not support what you're trying to do, what the petition is, the candle will not burn. It just won't.
But I will go off of that and say, there are times where you are so determined to have something, and we've all seen it, and then spirit will say, okay, you know what, just fuck yourself over. And they'll let you have your lesson. Yeah. And there's not one practitioner who has not been practicing for a bit who has not had that lesson. You've had it in some way, somehow, where you're like, I definitely want this. This is what I want. And spirit has been telling you, no, no, no. And you're like, give it to me. And you do it. And then you get yourself in that situation. And then they're like, okay, now get yourself out.
Yep.
True.
Another thing is, too, is I've noticed that people will, let's say they want this person. I want this man, and I want him to be bound to me. I want him to think about me 24/7, like you were saying, Tonya, and all this stuff. And so they overload. They do this work. They do this work. They do this work. They get this person to do something. This person do something. But then they overload that man, and it scares him away because he's overloaded. And so he just like, no.
Well, it goes back to what Shishi was saying too, is that when you're setting your intentions, you have, the work may come through really quick, or it may be a long burn, or it may be 2 or 3 burns that you have to do. I think what we deal with a lot of people nowadays is impatient.
Oh yeah.
Work is work. That's why they call it work. You have to set it up. You have to go ahead and petition. You have to give it time. If you do a spell, and I'm not going to say because we have Shannon on here, Shannon says she has really good luck with birthday candles. I feel like whenever I use birthday candles, the work comes through like this, like quick. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, okay, this is what spirit wants me to do. They're accepting this and everything like that. There have been times where I've tried to do the birthday candle and it will not burn right, or there's something that goes wrong with it. And spirit will have me go to a bigger candle. Pay attention to where they push you.
Mm-hmm.
If they make you go to the store and pick up a big pillar candle, maybe it's because it's going to take more time. They need more time to burn this candle down for the work to come. So for a lot of people, I would say don't rush it. Like you said, you have people that burn 15 candles because they're trying to rush the work. One candle actually is sufficient. One birthday candle could take care of your whole issue. But you have to give the work time. You have to be patient. It's when you're a worker, it's a slow burn, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
It's a slow burn with what you want, if it's meant for you.
A lot of things are 30 days. It'll take 30 days just to make an oil. You got to mix it up, you bury it, whatever you do, and let it stew or stir, for 30 days. So you got to wait 30 days on the oil. How long do you think something that's got a lot of complicated pieces to it is going to take?
Well, I think also, though, people need to remember anytime that they're doing spell work, if they're coming from a place of desperation or lack, that's going to mess up your spell work too.
Yeah.
So if you are, whenever you're doing a spell, lighting a candle, and you setting that intention out there, you need to have complete faith and knowledge that what you're requesting is coming. But if you sit there and you're like, it's not here, it's not here, it's not coming, then that's what you're bringing to you.
Right, because that's
you don't have faith.
Out there.
That's what you're putting out there. So if, just make sure that you're coming from, or you go in and coming from a good headspace whenever you're doing any kind of work.
Well, that takes us
love work.
And another thing about that is when you do your work, don't go blabbing about it.
Yeah.
Because people will say, "Oh, that shit ain't gonna work," and then all of a sudden you have these doubts in your head, and then though you're putting those doubts out there too. Don't do that. Just keep your mouth shut. The witch's pyramid, to be silent.
But then also going off of that, you have some people who don't want you to succeed. So you're putting this work out here for the benefit of yourself, and the minute they find out you did it, then they're doing another spell, because not everyone is your friend, to make sure you don't get what you need. So they're putting up the blockages. So
that's why we protect our work. That's why we protect our work. You protect your work and you're silent. You always work in silence. Some of these people online where it's like, in these little groups, I'm going to fuck you up. I'm going to do a spell to fuck you up. I'm going to fuck you up. Well, goddamn, it's nice to know that you're trying to fuck me up, because now I'm going to move in silence and really fuck you up. You put yourself out there, and I know a lot of people want to put pictures of their altar. They want to put pictures of the work that they do. And I get that. But I always say, complete your work first before if you want to share this to Instagram or whatever, complete the work first before you put it out there, because you will get opposition. Some witches just so that they will fuck with you because they can. This kind of brings us into petitions. What is a petition?
Okay. Well, do you want to do the film? We're right at halfway at 30 minutes.
Yeah, we can. Or do you want to explain what a petition is first?
A petition is the written intention. A petition is
written or spoken too.
Yeah. But actually writing it down, and we'll watch it, because there's some things that I do, and I know you do, Tonya, that's not mentioned in there, but we can go over all that. It's about 7 minutes, so we'll go ahead and play that. Ready? Here we go. Actually, I do want to say before I start, this is a video that Madame Pamita made. Like I was saying earlier, she was on the show last year. She puts her web address in here. Go support her. She's a wonderful lady, and she knows her shit, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't even be playing one of her videos. And she damn sure wouldn't have been a guest on here. But here we go.
Hi, I'm Madame Pamita, and this is Madame Pamita's Parlor of Wonders. You can find me online at parlorofwonders.com. Today I'm going to be talking to you about petition papers. What is a petition paper and how to make one? A petition paper is a paper that you write down for spell work with the words of what it is that you're trying to accomplish with your spell. So, for example, it just can be any really piece of paper at all, any kind of paper. And you would write down words that would show what it is that you're wanting to bring in. So a simple paper with any kind of writing on it. You can write symbols on it, you can draw pictures on it, but there's other different kinds of petition papers that are specialized beyond this, just a simple piece of paper. You can use for example, you can use a cutout heart-shaped piece of paper if you wanted to do a love spell and write your petition on that. Oftentimes people use photographs for petitions where they write on the back of the photograph. You can write what it is that you're wanting. If it's for yourself, you'd use your picture. If it was for someone else, you'd use their picture. You could use yourself and someone else if you were doing a spell for the two of you, for example. So you can write on the back of that what it is that you're wanting to accomplish with your spell and use that. Another kind of petition paper is using money. You can use a $2 bill or any denomination. $2 bill is special in Hoodoo because it's kind of a unique denomination that isn't often used. And you can write around the edges of it. You can sign your name underneath the treasurer's name. You can do all sorts of things working with money and using that as a petition paper. What do you do with a petition paper? Well, once you've made your petition paper, you would what you would do with it is you would put it underneath a candle, or sometimes you burn them if you want to get rid of something. But we're going to talk about petitions where you want to bring in something. So if you want to bring in something, you would fold that paper toward you because you want to bring it to you. Then you would turn it 90 degrees to the right and fold it toward you again. You can do that once, twice, 3 times, whatever you feel. And then you place that petition paper under a candle. If you're working with something that you want to get rid of, you would turn and fold that petition paper away from you. So you would fold it away from you, turn it to the left, and fold it away from you. And then place it underneath your candle for banishing or reversal or getting rid of something. All right, now I'm going to show you a specific kind of petition paper, and this petition paper is a very old recipe. It's one that is used for a honey jar spell. So what you need for that is you need some brown paper, and you can use like the thin brown paper that you find on a lunch bag, and a pen. And what you're going to do is you're first going to tear out a square out of the brown paper. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to have all 4 sides being torn. It's a trick that I learned in elementary school. If you want to make sure that it's a square, you fold the corner up like a triangle, and you see, aha, I've got some extra here. So I can tear that part off to make a square. It doesn't have to be perfect like that, though, but it's nice to have a square. Okay, so now I have my square brown paper with the 4 torn edges that I tore out by hand. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to write the names of the person. A honey jar spell, you're writing, you're wanting someone to feel more positive feelings and more loving feelings towards you. So a honey jar, if you look at the video about honey jar, you'll know what they're about. But you're trying to get someone to feel more positive feelings towards you. So what you want to do is first write that person's name 3 times, just like that. And you write it in cursive. Okay, I've written a person's name 3 times. Then you turn that paper 90 degrees to the right. Okay? Then you write your name 3 times over that, making a crisscross pattern. So it looks like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to write the words of what it is that you want in your petition around that crisscross pattern. You want something short because you're going to write it all the way around and repeating it, and you're going to link them at the end. So a long petition like, I want this person to hear my case and find me not guilty. Too long. You want something short, so you can do something like give me a raise, love me, find me not guilty. In any of those cases, you want someone to do something, you just get right to the point. So in this case, with Mary Smith and John Smith, I'm going to put the petition, love me. Very simple and easy and straightforward. We're going to write it in a circle all the way around and then link it at the end. The important thing in this is not to lift your pen. Even if you have to cross your T's or dot your I's, you want to make it one continuous line going all the way around. So you see, I've made one continuous line going all the way around and linking them at the end. So at this point, you would then do the rest of working with the honey jar spell. You don't have to use this just for honey jars, though. You can use this working with candles. This is another way of making a petition paper, a very old-fashioned way. You don't have to write the names 3 times. You can write them in any magical number, 3, 7, 9, 13, and you can write those. Again, it's important that you write the person that you're wanting to do your bidding underneath, turn it, and then write your name on top of it. And so that is how you make a petition paper. My name is Madame Pamita. This is the Parlor of Wonders, and you can find me online at parlorofwonders.com.
I just love her.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
She has such a smooth delivery, and it's so soft too. And you wouldn't think she was a badass witch.
Oh, I wouldn't want to fuck with her.
Dude, I always knew she was a badass witch. When I first saw her, I was like, ooh. And she makes her own little skull candles too, and probably not.
She makes all of her candles. She makes the lips, she makes the skulls, she makes the pyramid candles.
Mm-hmm.
She pours all of her own candles. All of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she is just a wealth of information. And her YouTube, she just gives these tips all the time about how to do different things. Awesome information. It really is. One of the things that she didn't mention, and you probably have it right there on your desk, Tonya, is you can write petitions on bay leaves.
I do.
I know you're looking for it. It's over there to your right, I think, up top.
Oh, you know what? Oh, yeah, they fell because the cat. But I do. I always keep bay leaves.
And you can write on them. She did not really cover it a lot. That was a very short video. But you can burn petitions. She even has, she calls it flying petition paper, or where you light it on fire, it starts spinning and it flies off. So like when you're sending something away, you would do that. And then there are times too, speaking of burning petitions, there's times of the day and directions that you need to stand in and towards and all that stuff. There's a lot. There's a lot. A lot of boobies right now too, Tonya.
Sorry, y'all. I can't do anything about them. But yeah.
But see, she's got her bay leaves right there.
How did you know I have my bay leaves? You saw them last time you came?
Because they're there every time I come over there. That's what I was saying, look to your right on the top. That's where it is.
That is true, because when there's a full moon or a new moon, I just write real quick and then I burn it. So this is my paper.
I like and I don't know if you guys, I like the really big bay leaves, and I only have a few left. I think because my old landlord grew them, and they smell so good, and they are so much thicker and sturdier.
Yes.
Than the ones you get in the store. But they're hard to find. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. You could probably actually write your petition on a bay leaf, and when it's dry, crumble it up and use that for incense.
Good. You can burn it in your intention candle. I've done that. I burned it in my intention candle and then let it be around it and then let the candle burn with it.
Load your candle with it. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Now with my petitions, I do use the brown paper bag, but I do burn the petition and I mix it with my herbs if I'm loading the candle. So I don't burn my petition underneath my candle. I include it in my herbs when I'm loading my candle. So, I mean, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it, but I always say, listen to your ancestors. Listen to the guides that walk with you, because a lot of reasons why we do what we do is because this has been passed down. Or if we were witches before in a past life, we have memory. And that's why we do things a certain way. So that's why it won't always connect with the way other people are doing it, because maybe, in your other life, you didn't do it that way.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong with being different.
But you can also, like, I know we talked about it, like for me, I'll put, depending on how long my spell is, I'll write my spell on the candle. And I'll avoid the paper. I have everything there. And so as it burns, the spell burns down too. Depending on how like a freestanding candle is easier, you use the nail, and you sketch it in, you write your spell. If you're trying to get something away from you, then you're going to write it, from the bottom up.
A lot of people do reversals like that.
The top down.
Yeah.
And then
that's how you.
I'm up here. I'm like, wait, let me do that again. And then vice versa. So make sure when you're writing your candle, you're doing it the right direction. I like to write mine around the whole candle like a spiral. That's why I'm sitting here thinking in my head. I'm like, wait, hold on, like a spiral. I haven't had to do it.
The way your spiral goes depends on if you're doing it for it. And that's what she was saying too. Turn it to the right when you're bringing something in, and turn it to the left when you want it out, because that's clockwise and counterclockwise. Someone's asking, has anyone heard from Madame Pamita lately? She hasn't made a video in 4 months. She does
just classes.
She does classes every month. She does burns every month, every single Sunday. So
she's busy.
And then her book just came out, or she's getting ready to put her new book out.
Well, this book,
the Gypsy one.
This one is already out, and then she's got Baba Yaga is coming out in April of 2022, and this other one has been out a couple years.
Yeah, I have both of those, but I'm talking about the one she was talking about with her heritage going back.
Yeah, that's Baba Yaga. Shit, it's coming out in April 2022, but she does. I can't remember what it's called, but she has a little podcast kind of like this every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I don't know what time zone everybody's in, but that's in 3 hours and 10 minutes from now. You have to go sign up on her list, and she will send you a link. And she does it on Zoom, and then she posts the video a couple of days later. So, but yeah, she's doing great. She's looking forward to getting back out on the road and traveling and stuff more.
Tanya, what spell are you writing on your candle already?
Money. Actually, Mama Star made this. She made this money candle for me, and I was like, "Oh, I'm not ready to burn it. I'm not ready to burn it." And then I was thinking, "Okay, we're talking candles, intention, and everything. Today is the day to go ahead." And like Shishi said, you literally can carve in what you want this candle to do, because you're already setting your intention into the candle, and then to go ahead and just burn it. I'll probably just go ahead and light it up at the end of this.
Every day is a good day for a money candle.
Yeah.
It's always a good day for money. When I'm doing my candles after I've written it, I like to focus my energy specifically on that candle before I light it and then after I've lit it. And I think a lot of people don't do that. Some people are like, okay, we lit it, we're done. But you need to put your energy into that candle. You need to focus your energy into that candle. The same that you would do any other ritual. If you think you're just like, okay, I'm gonna light the candles and I'm done and that's it. It doesn't work that way because it's all about your intention. It's all about your will. It's about your energy and your focus. So take your time. Do your spell work right. You know, give it the love that you would want it to be returned in you. So if you're wanting a lot of money or you're wanting at least something to be taken care of, then take the time to give it that energy.
Yeah. When you're carving, when you're putting on the herbs, when you're putting in the oil, you're always constantly doing an intention as you're doing all of that. Angelo, the link to sign up for her weekly talk show is spellsquad.com. I'll put it in the comments.
And Shishi, you kind of addressed that too in your glamour class, where you had us do the exercise where we were calling in our energy and holding it into our hand. And you were saying, you know, that you could do this with your makeup. You know, you could do this like with your clothes, with things that the class was about glamour, how to bring the energy in. But she's right. You could do that same thing if you're thinking about money. And you're loading this candle with that energy, with bringing the money in, or if it was a love candle or a protection candle, it would be the same thing to focus in, bringing in that energy around you to make your work stronger.
And the plus side is whenever you're doing your intention candle, I don't want anyone to come from, like I said, a place of lack, a place of desperation. When you're putting that energy in there, focus on already having that money. Focus on already having what it is that you want. So when you light it, then you're not stressed about it because you already know it's a thing. You're not coming from, oh my God,
it's a done deal.
Work. It's a done deal. Oh, I'm like, oh, you put some links there. Gotcha. Hi to everybody that's joining us later that we didn't get to say hi to. Yeah. We were just in the mode of talking and catching up. So hello. Thank you guys again for joining us, for supporting us. We appreciate you so much. We really do.
Yeah.
So we have fun with these discussions.
Yeah.
Then it's to the magical Q&A. That's what she calls it. Magical Q&A on Sundays.
So looking for any questions or comments.
Hi, Joy.
Yes, hey, baby Joy. Does anybody have anything they want to add or even bring up? I'm trying to see. I think the beauty of candles is that it's a really quick, effective work. You know, you literally could pick up, if you have any type of candle in your house, you can load it and set intentions into it. And I think it makes it easier. You don't have to go shopping for a lot of ingredients with it. You don't have to do a lot of prep for it. You know, if there's a new moon or a full moon and you're trying to bring something in, if you're trying to take something away or take it out, the waning moon, like Lynna was saying, there are apps that will actually give you the times of the planets, so that if it's not even on that particular day, you can still work within the hours of that planet, the energy that that planet has.
And if y'all want to do it by the moons, you can come right here to Conjure Crew, because it always happens on a Sunday. A full moon is on a Sunday, or a new moon is on a Sunday, and we're always on Sundays. So
True.
What's today? The new moon is today. So if y'all want to bring something in or to grow something, you'd start today for the next 2 weeks.
What does it mean when it's
I'm sorry, and do count in the planetary alignments. It's Mercury retrograde right now. For those who are really serious about their Mercury retrograde.
There's a lot of planets in retrograde. Yeah. There's a lot. But yeah, you have to take into consideration. Mercury is not always a negative planet. If you are already turned upside down, Mercury retrograde can actually turn you upside right. So it depends on where you're at, you know. So you can use planets to their strength. You actually can. So Soulful Serena wants to know, what does it mean when a 7-day candle breaks in half? Now, scientifically, if the wick is too close to the glass, you could have a problem. That's why you never want to leave a candle that is unattended, or if you are having to leave it unattended, you want to put it in some type of metal basin or some sand around it to make sure that if it happens, that you don't have big fires. But if we're looking at spiritually, that could actually be that you have opposition. You have a energy that's coming back in, because I've seen candles blow up. I've had candles blow up. And it's because I'm reversing, they're sending something back, I'm reversing, and eventually the candle is just like, boom. And I'm like, okay, we got to go take a cleanse. I got to cleanse my house, and then we got to start the work over again. Sometimes you're going to come across powerful witches that are powerful energies that will work against you.
Jed's saying that the new moon was last week, so I was wrong. You guys only have 1 week to bring your stuff in.
But still, remember, even when you're bringing it in, sometimes there's stronger times to bring that in. Like the 3 days before and the 3 days after are the strongest to bring things in or to let things go. So I'm looking at Ita, and she said that she's done that before. And she said that she put a name on a candle to get his negative energy away out of the life. So,
like a reversal, or she was cleansing, because you can use black to cleanse negative energy.
Yeah. So I don't know if she just said she did it in reverse to send something away, his negative energy away.
You can definitely do cut and clears with candles. You can do cut and clear with candle work. So if you're trying to break abusive relationships, you could also use St. Martha the Dominator, because she doesn't like people that abuse, male or female, that abuse other people. So you definitely can use candle works. Research your deities and your saints that you're working with, because some of them, their specialty is to dominate or break relationships or to send away negative energy.
She said it was like burning every day a piece of the candle, part of the candle. So it was probably a 7-day thing, like a notch candle, possibly.
Yeah, you can use, like, where's my knobs at? Let me see. I moved everything around because I was cleaning. But with knob candles, you put pins in it and you burn it up into that day for that pin, and then you take it out. And then the next day you burn it again up into the pin and you take it out. And it's decreasing either the power over someone that has over you or a negative situation that has over you. But you can do that with a pillar candle too. Mm-hmm. You can put 7 candles, 7 pins in it, and burn it to that candle or to that pin, then put it out, snuff it out, and then burn it again if you're trying to take something away. And I would probably do that on a waning moon, when the moon is losing power, when it's decreasing.
I think, honestly, I personally really love candle magic. That's the first one I started with. And I mean, it's great for me. I think candles are a good way to focus things, to bring things like right where they need to be and to send that perfect energy out. I like the fact that you can read candles as well, which is nice to know how your spell work is going. And I mean, I think any practitioner that's first stepping in, I think that should be the thing that they learn how to do, is the candle magic. But a lot of them want to be like, we have candles and we're bringing in some other deity and we hope that they like us. And you're just like, that's not probably the way to go. But candle magic, I think, is a great beginning step for anyone stepping into the craft.
I think most people get started on candle work because it is easy. Because literally, like I say, most people have candles already in their house.
Yeah.
So when you are burning this, like we said at the beginning, just to get rid of negative energy or to make your house smell better, that's your first introduction into candle magic. Because you're burning this, the flame is what makes the work. You're lighting the work up. So when I buy this candle and it smells good and I don't want my house to smell, my first petition is, this candle is going to take away the bad smell in my house. And everybody starts with candle magic. Birthday cake, birthday candles, you're making a wish, you're asking for something, and then you're putting the candle out. The pins, stick pins.
You could probably use any of those, a pin, a tack pin, a safety pin, or
a push pin, like
Yeah, I like a push pin. I like a push pin with a head. If I'm working money work or whatever, I'll use one with a green head. If I'm doing love work, I'll use one. That's just me with a red head. Safety pins, not so much with candles. Not so much with candles, but
if that's what the only thing you had, by all means, go ahead.
Yeah, if it's the only thing you have, you can make it work. You pull it in and you take it out. You know, some people let it melt all the way in the candle wax and then they read it. But that's where we go with practitioners. What feels right to you? So for Serena, I use tarot cards with my candle work. I do too. If I'm using something for my enemies, I might put the death card underneath, not necessarily to kill them, but to transform the relationship.
Or you Ten of Swords.
Or the Ten of Swords, you know. If you're using playing cards, Ace of Spades. I mean, you have to read to know what the cards mean. If you're doing love work, Two of Cups. If you're doing money work, Ten of Pentacles.
I make copies because I'm not burning my actual tarot.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to show you why Joy is sitting up here. Joy makes some amazing candles. Wait a minute. Let me go grab this candle's gonna blow your mind.
Joy sent me a evil eye protection candle, and it was clear and it had the little evil eye beads in there, and I loved it. I posted it on when she sent it to me. I posted it, I think, a week after she had sent it to me because I was so busy packing.
Yeah,
and she sent me.
If you don't have pins, you can carve a little mark.
Look at this.
Joy makes excellent candles.
Oh.
Isn't this beautiful? I mean, I don't even want to burn her candle. She also made, let me see, this one.
She makes excellent candles.
Yeah, oh my God.
I mean, she's just really talented with it.
Hold up. Where's the vagina one? Oh my God, wait.
Oh, I didn't get a vagina one from her yet. I need to get some orders from her. I need to get those little, I can't remember what they're called. Because she sent them to me. The little seeds that have the prickly, bally things on the outside of it. You know what I'm talking about? Those seeds that have the prickly stick thingies outside that fall from the trees.
Which one?
They got those down here. They're you know those
yeah.
I was gonna say sticky balls. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, she sent me some of those because I don't have any over.
Oh yeah, witch's burr. They grow everywhere down here.
And I needed them, and so she sent me some. And I was like, yes, I need them for protection. Ooh, I love those.
Her candles are amazing.
Monkey balls. I was gonna call them sticky balls.
Monkey balls? Wait, monkey balls.
That's what Angel was saying, monkey balls.
Is that what they call them in some places?
It's over. It's over.
Yeah, I've never heard them call that. Look at me. Oh, Angela's saying we call them monkey balls. I did not know that.
Monkey balls. Oh my goodness.
You know, somebody asked me about that one time, and I thought they were trying to be perverted. I didn't know that that's what people called them. Some guy asked me if I had monkey balls. And I was like, do you have monkey balls? I feel bad now. I thought he was trying to be perverted. Oh my God. I'm going to have to apologize to that guy.
You say I have monkey sex, but I do not have monkey balls.
Yeah, he was like, he goes, Mambo, do you have monkey balls? And I was like, do you have monkey balls?
I can see her being genuinely.
I got offended. I thought he was trying to be, stupid with me. Oh my God, I'm going to have to apologize. Oh, I'm going to have to eat crow on that one.
After all, you do have monkey balls.
Well, I do. I have a whole bag full of monkey balls, but I didn't know. I did. So thank you, Angela. Thank you now for educating. See, this is why we do this, because I never knew that. You learn something new every time. I didn't know that. But you guys, if you are looking for specialty candles, custom candles, get with Joy Alexander. She makes beautiful, I mean, really amazing candles. The details,
they feel good too. They feel
everything.
Really good.
I mean, yes. She does amazing work. Some of her candles, like I said, she can do custom. She can do custom. Of course, you're probably going to pay more if you have a specific candle. But you can, even if you have maybe your petitions or things that you've already prayed over and loaded, you can even send that to her, and she can incorporate that into your candle, into the wax when she's making it. So definitely get with her. Joy Alexander, you can find her on Facebook. Send her a message, but she don't have monkey balls, I don't think. She might in her yard.
She does have monkey balls. She sent me the monkey balls, a whole box.
Okay, well then you can get monkey balls too. Maybe she can incorporate them some way in the candle too.
But I use monkey balls when you put them in witch balls for protection. You hang them around your home.
Yeah, I put them in my wreaths around my door and everything like that. And sometimes with my candles, with protection candles, I will create a barrier around my candles.
Well, I'm glad to know Joy, because I'm looking at the comment, does not mind admitting that she has monkey balls. I'm just saying.
Hey, to be honest, this is the first time I've ever heard them call that. I'm really, after we get off of here, I'm going to message that poor man and apologize and tell him I did not know I had no idea he was being serious. Thank God this just happened about a month ago, so I can correct it still. But you never come at me asking me if I have monkey balls. What? Ugh. Okay.
Was he getting services from you? Because if so, then that makes sense why he was like, hey, I'm getting.
He was ordering. He wanted to order some stuff, and he asked me if I had monkey balls, if I could send him some. And I was like, I don't have monkey balls. You have monkey balls. Because I thought he was trying to be stupid. So, yeah.
You should have told him I have a whole collection balls. I got
oh my gosh.
little balls.
I feel so stupid right now, you guys. I feel so, but this is where ignorance, I will be the first one to admit I do not know everything. I have learned something. So thank you guys. If I didn't take anything else out of this live, I now know what else you call witches balls, because we call them, we call them witches burr down here.
I just call them pricklies. I just call them pricklies. But I have these other things that Annie gave me, and she called them bat something, and they look like bat wings, but they're like these little seeds, and use it. I don't know. I can't remember the name of them, but you use those for protection too.
Yeah, I have a few of those. They're like pods.
Yeah.
But they look like bat. They look like the bat horns.
Yeah.
To me, yeah, they look like the horns, and I use them for protection too around my house. So I mean, a lot of things you can incorporate around your candles. Whatever particular work that you're doing, you can definitely incorporate, nature. Like I say, vines, witches burr, anything that is a protecting thing around your work. You definitely need to cast your circle or cast your protective, or your protection around. You guys, if you are doing negative work, though, I would say try to do it outside. If it's really like, if you are using cat shit or things that smell, you really want to burn those candles outside your house. Devil pods, bat pods. You're right. That's what they are, Jed.
I'm like, I'm gonna have to get some of those. I don't have them over here. I don't know what I have over here yet. I'm still exploring.
I think holly would be good for protection because it has the prickly points on it.
Yeah. A lot of them, I mean, anything that has spines or has thorns or whatever is a protective thing. I mean, you could use it also to cause harm. If you really wanted to cause harm towards somebody with your candle work.
Thorns from the roses, clip those off.
Yeah, but holly for protection work, definitely you could use.
I heard this one woman, she used thorns from the roses for a breakup spell.
Yeah, you can even use rose leaves for a breakup spell if you rip them apart, if you tear them apart. So yeah.
That was interesting.
A lot of times when I
use rose petals for petitions.
Yeah, some people write on rose petals for love and burn them. And some people use breakup spells. They write breakup on rose petals too. And then put them in their candles or around their candles. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. Herbs, plants. Like I said, back in the old days, they literally could do work with a piece of dirt and a rock and just a fire element. So, don't feel limited in your work. Don't feel like you have to do it a certain way. We have everybody who comes on now. You can't use glitter. You can't, make your stuff pretty. You can do whatever you want to do. If it works for you, it works for you.
It's your work.
It's your work.
Not their
work.
It's your work.
Now, what are you over there carving into a candle? Or what are you doing? I see you sawing something, Shishi.
No, I think my bracelet may have like messed up or gave me a little rash on my skin. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, what just happened?
Is it a protection bracelet?
No. Well, yeah, they were my tiger's eye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might need a cleansing.
I will.
But Kay, let's see. So, hi, John. You could use for protection, definitely. If you have Hi, John, a lot of times I'll get a grinder or one of those things. What do you call them? Where you grind a cheese grinder or grater? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, a cheese grater.
Because you're gonna have some herbs that are really hard pods that you can't just take a knife and break up. But if you can grind some of these off, you can put them into your candles. I grind and put them in a bag so that I already have them ready to use. But I mean, there's a lot of different herbs that you can use. Mud daubers, yes, spider webs. I let these poor yellow jackets build a nest, and then I go out there and I steal it. I feel so bad for stealing their work, but I use a lot of that in my candles too.
You can use wasps. Like,
yeah,
if you find your dead wasps, you can use
I
that
have
in your stonework. Ants.
Bless their hearts. Yep, I collect them.
Yeah.
Red ants. We have horrible red ants around here, and I will sometimes stick a candle in the mound and let that bitch burn down. Now, like I said, that is some work that you do outside. You do not bring the mound in. Do not try, because I've had somebody do that, and I was like, what possessed you? They scooped the mound up and put it in a storage bin, and then stuck their work in it in their house. And of course, the fire ants got everywhere. If you have ever stepped into a pile of red ants, it is like your worst nightmare. Why would you bring that into your house? So y'all, common sense goes a long way when you're doing baneful work. Baneful work probably should be, if you don't have an area that is protected to do it, you probably need to do it somewhere outside, okay?
Honestly, you should do baneful work for the most part outside anyway, so then it's not in your home.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's usually helpful. I mean, especially if you're calling in something, trying to keep it as far away from your humble abode and where you sleep is best.
Yeah, because you're going to have certain spirits that will come and attach to that work, because it may be something that they want to do. You have a lot of intranquil spirits out there that if you just have a wide net, you're going to call something in that will want to work for that. But you don't want it coming in your house. I agree. You want to leave your work and your offerings outside, preferably in a place that you've already consecrated so that that work stays there. Yeah. Angela was like, her daughter was getting mad because she was taking the yellow jacket babies.
But also, like, keep in mind, though, when you're using the oils, be careful of the oils that you use. Some oils have specific rules. And I know, for one, a lesson I learned was the intranquil spirit oil. That comes with certain rules. And sometimes people won't tell you the certain showers and things you have to take before them. There's something you have to put on before even working with the intranquil spirit oil, something you have to do. There's steps that you have to do after. Because these are the spirits of rapists, of unhappy spirits that have murderers that are being called to this work. And so there's certain steps that you have to take to make sure that work, because if you don't do the intranquil spirit oil correctly, the same thing that's happening to the person that you're sending out there is also happening to you. So everything that you're feeling is happening to that person if you do not do it correctly.
I guess so. That is probably the only candle that I see that sold without any instructions in a lot of stores and botanicas where people pick it up and they have no idea what they're opening themselves up to. So I always tell people, please research. Don't just pick up these candles and figure, lodestone, okay, it's going to attract, it's going to draw things to me. What is it going to attract and draw? How are you using it? You need to make sure that when you're going to botanicas, if they're not teaching you how to use these candles, leave the candle there. Because sometimes too we get ego driven. Well, I know what the fuck the candle is, a love candle. I know how to work the candle, but maybe you don't. So don't be too, nobody, like I said, we never stop learning. Don't feel like that you're a master of something, because trust me, there's always something to learn. And if you're working with the wrong spirit, or you don't know how to work with them properly when you're calling them in to your work, you're going to have issues. You need to know how to do it properly. Just like poor girls that, you know, somebody was dowsing on a TikTok where she was calling in Papa Legba, and Papa Legba said he killed a girl. And I was like, it just, it was just, there were no words. It was, and people, and she had all these followers. And I'm like, all these people are literally believing this, and they're supporting this, and they're going to go home and try this. And what happens
Get jacked up.
with certain things, you're calling in wayward spirits, you're calling in tranquil spirits, you're calling in trickster spirits. So be really careful. If you're working with a deity, get to know your deity. Develop some type of level of trust. There's service that is done when you're working with, if you're working with Hecate, or you're working with a Lawad or an Orisha, there's certain protocols that have to be followed. And there's a certain thing of trust that has to come together for you to work. If you're just calling in wayward spirits, you get what you get.
Yeah,
You get what you get.
I've seen a lot of people use the intranquil spirit on a lover or someone that they want.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Drives them mad
because they're mad. They're upset. They broke up with me, so I'm gonna send in tranquil spirits. But like Shishi said, that bounce back is a mofo. Because what you're trying to take away from them, you could be taking, like one girl, she caused her ex to have a car accident. 4 weeks later, she got into a car accident. So the bounce back wasn't really worth it. It wasn't. So be careful when once you put flame to these candles, the work, really, like Shishi said, before you light the candle, the intention has already been put out. The flame is what literally gives the work power, because that light is what comes through. Before you light these candles, make sure that you are 100% comfortable with what you're doing, that you are 100% comfortable with your petition.
Because if you're not, and I mean, and like going back to what Lynna said, don't be willy-nilly about it. Don't be willy-nilly about it. I mean, basically you're combining your manifestations and desires with a whole lot of spirit work.
Yeah.
And it's just not a joke. It's not something to play with. You know, just like you can manifest things without candles, when you add that little bit of oomph to it as well, or you add that oomph with the candle, you know, it's just more powerful. So
yeah,
just don't do things willy-nilly. Think about, are you going to be able to handle it? Should you have done something wrong and that bounce back come?
Yeah, you should always have that exit strategy when you do work. You need to leave yourself that exit strategy. You know, well, maybe I need to, you know, put some safeguards in place. And I think with any type of work, there should always be safeguards that, you know, should something go wrong, that you have some type of, you know, soft landing, because we all learn. Let's be honest. No practitioner, most of the stuff that I have learned that is a no-no is because I did it and the shit came back wrong. And I was like, that's a no-no. Let me write that in the grimoire. We will never do that one again.
I mean, like, that was my learning with tranquil spirits, like with the oil. That was my lesson. Sorry, my battery is dying. That was my lesson. Because the guy was like, yeah, you get this if you want to cause people, you know, pain, who caused you pain. Well, cool. That's great. Let me get this oil, because I was upset. And I did do the whole thing. I waited 3 days and I was still pissed off. So I felt like, well, shit. It's free game at that point. 3 days. Everything that person was going through, I was going through. And when you call these spirits in, especially if you're a medium, even if you're not a medium, you will feel them in your house. You will feel them when you're walking around, just out and about grocery shopping.
Yeah.
And when I go back to the mechanic, I'm like, okay, this is weird. You know, I did the whole spell, I did the candle work, and you know, I've been working for a while. He's like, oh yeah, so you were supposed to clean yourself. Why didn't you know first you had to get the hyssop bath? Then you had to clear out, and then you had a different thing you do after that. Then you do the candles. Then after you have to do it again, and then you do this, and you have to do it for about 3 days after.
But he sold you the candle first without any instruction.
He sold me the oil. And I was like, so you let me walk out of here with a whole different ball game, but that was my fault because I should have researched more as well.
Well, no, he has some responsibility to that. As a priestess or a practitioner, I'm not going to give you anything without explaining to you how to properly do it, because to me, that goes back on me too. He was wrong with that. And it's almost like a pharmacist giving you a prescription and you have no idea how to take the medicine. You could fuck yourself up.
I can say I was very fortunate to have a cleansing bath in my house. And when I did that cleansing, it was the best feeling in the world to get those spirits off of me.
Yeah.
It was a very nice feeling. So just be wise, you know, with what you're doing. And so Tanya's right. Most of the time when we're saying, oh, you know, you want to go about it a different way, we've already experienced it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Definitely already experienced it. And if we're lucky, some of the times we learn from someone else's mistakes.
Right.
You know.
True.
But honestly, just be smart. Be smart. And if you're gonna do spell work, I say do it to elevate yourself a lot more. And anyone on this live can tell you I love baneful magic. I do. It's fun, but it can come with its shit. So you know.
It has side effects.
It has some side effects.
But as a practitioner, that's your decision. That's your decision. You know, sometimes we got to get spanked. That's what makes you better at your craft.
As long as you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And use common sense, especially when you're doing candle magic. You know, don't leave a candle burning out in your house while you're gone. Make sure you put it in a bowl of water, put it in the sink, put it in the bathtub, whatever you got to do if you absolutely have to have it burning. Snuffing out a candle and relighting it later is not a bad thing.
No.
Every time you relight it, you're thinking and you're putting those intentions back into it again. So if you're doing a 7-day candle, you snuff it out at night when you go to bed, and then in the morning when you get up, you light it again, you say your prayer over the candle, you're putting more intention into it. So be careful. Use common sense. Don't put your candle in the window with the curtain closed. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
There are certain things.
Don't.
I did post the link to our Conjure Crew Facebook group in the comments. If y'all want to go join the group, you're welcome to. I will post a poll here in just a little bit for topics for next week. If you don't see what you want to talk about, please add it, and y'all please vote. I'm not going to try to sound snippy. However, we have 116 members in the group. We got 5 votes last week. Y'all can do better than that. Your opinion matters, so you need to vote.
Mm-hmm. And let me just say one last thing quick before we go, because I know Shishi, it's late where she's at. Guys, don't overload your candles. Mm-hmm. A little bit goes a long way. The number one cause of fires and candles that tend to get overheated is because they have too much product in it. Oils, herbs, and everything like that. You can literally, this is a fixed candle for me.
Just all it takes a little bit.
And all it takes is a little bit, because your intentions are going to go ahead and push everything through. I see a lot of people that are filling this whole top part with herbs, and there's just a little bit of wick. It's going to be a fire hazard. 100% it's going to be a fire hazard. So please be careful with that. Save your product. If you're working your herbs, pray over your herbs. You only need a little bit to get things going, all right?
And if you have a loose standing candle, you can put the oil around it. You can roll the candle and the herbs instead of having to put it at the top. It'll be on the outside.
And even with that, don't overload, because I've seen people overload it till you can't even see the color of the candle. And you know, fire safety, Jed is right, is number one, because we've seen a few witches where their homes have, or their altar rooms have caught on fire, or their altars have caught on fire. And the first thing that they say, oh, that's work somebody was throwing against me. When you go back and look at some of the things or some of their pictures, because the candles were overloaded or there was no safety measures, they actually have fire retardant mats that if your candle does explode, because that does happen, and if you're at work and your candle explodes, the last thing that you want are things around it that will, you know, catch on fire. So
Put it in a bowl of water. Put it in one of those stainless steel sinks. I wouldn't put it in a plastic bathtub, but if you have a ceramic bathtub,
oh yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's how Lisa Left Eye burned her boyfriend's house down. His bathtub was fiberglass. She thought it was, you know, porcelain. It was fiberglass. And it caught on fire. So, you know, if you're like me and you have cheap landlords that give you that cheap ass bathtub shit, there's no way I could put a candle in my bathtub. The whole thing would be melted before I came.
But your sink is stainless steel.
Yeah, no, you know, definitely if you have to leave, if you have a stainless steel sink, put your candle in it, or you know, these little
a big cauldron. You can get those.
Yeah.
A big pot, a metal pot.
Or either canned goods. You know, back in the days when I was growing up, you know, you would have a little the canned good empty container, like the beans container, and they would put the candle in that. That's how old workers used to do it, because they were trying to protect, you know, their other stuff around.
Yep. All right.
All right.
So we will see you guys back here next week. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say? Oh, by the way, don't forget to go support Madame Pamita. She's wonderful. And I love her. So, and she's got a lot of instructional videos too. And then once you find something over there that you want us to talk about, come back and vote on it on our page so we can discuss it too. So just saying.
All right. Bye, my sisters. I love you.
Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thanks for joining.
All right. Bye-bye.
You guys have a good day.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.